You're about to experience an honest crypto review for AAVE. This is a warning because this looks very dangerous to me. There are a ton of risks and I see very little upside. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, and I hold tens of thousands of ICP. So I do these videos as public service announcements because you all ask me about them and say, Jerry, what do you think of AAVE? I don't see any reason I would buy this, especially at this price. Now, if you look at the fully diluted, first of all, this is a $4.6 billion project, at least according to the market cap. But if you look at what actually is this, AAVE, according to the description on CoinGecko, is a decentralized money market protocol where users can lend and borrow cryptocurrency. It has a native token called AAVE, but really it's on the blockchain, so it's just a governance token. All right, so this is just a governance token. Now, here's where the big problem is. This is essentially acting like a stock, which is another, governance token and stock have the same idea in common. But the fact is, with a governance token, if you're holding it on Ethereum, let's say, I don't see that the governance token gives you any real ownership over the actual protocol and over all that resources that the founding team has created. For example, the website, that's not owned at all by the governance token because the website is not actually on the blockchain. And therefore, I would question as to how decentralized this actually is, because the website where you actually go to interact with the protocol is not on the blockchain. And you have to use wallets which introduce additional third parties to then interact with the blockchain for you. So you have to sign in and connect a wallet. So then you're on a website controlled by the AAVE development team. And then you're using a third-party wallet, which could be hacked or drained, or anything could be banned from your app store. And then you're using all that just to go to the blockchain. And then what you have is tokens and simple smart contracts set up on Ethereum and other blockchains. But the token is a native Ethereum token, which is bridged over to others. So what I see, this, for as big of a market cap as this is, the Internet Computer Protocol has a smaller market cap than this. At the same time, Internet Computer Protocol has the absolute #1 technology in all of crypto. To me, it's absolutely insane that this governance token, which from my view has very little real utility, this governance token has a bigger market cap than ICP, which to me makes it more than likely extremely overvalued for what it actually can do and the real value behind it versus the perceived market value. If you want to look at some of these and see yourself, if you go to aave.com/FAQ, now keep in mind, aave.com is not owned by the governance token. The governance token is on a blockchain and the website is off the blockchain. The governance token cannot own aave.com, which means the developers of AAVE have full control over the website. And if the website is how you access the protocol, they can do whatever they want with a website, regardless of what the governance token holders want to do. Now look at all the risks using AAVE. You have the smart contract risk. So there could be an issue with the smart contract on any blockchain. You have the Oracle risk. So this can't even pull in the data itself. You have to rely on third-party data providers for price feeds and other external data. So you see how many things could go wrong in this equation? If there's a bug in a smart contract, if the third-party oracles that are not controlled by AAVE, either the developers or the token, and again, those are off-chain. So again, the developers, it's on them to plug those in correctly. And there's the collateral risk. If the coins you're lending or borrowing have issues, you could lose because of that. And then all the tokens that are bridged on other coins, like if you're trying to do anything outside of Ethereum, then there's a network and a bridge risk as well. So as it said, this is congestion, censorship, and security vulnerabilities. Now, all of that, and then let's look at the actual application. So if you look at the markets, how much are people earning? Well, if you look at the supply APY, the supply APY for Ethereum on here is less than 2%. That's less than 2% people are earning to supply Ethereum. Now, if they were on Internet Computer Protocol and staking, they could be earning 13+% instead and actually participating in governance. So why, to me, would people be using AAVE when there's so much better DeFi options available? They must not know about those DeFi options. And you've got lending for stable coins here. You got hundreds of millions. It says billions of dollars in stable coins. This looks like one of the main things the AAVE protocol is used for, is lending and borrowing these different stable coins. Well, stable coins have risks also. It's not the same holding stable coins on a crypto as holding them in the bank. And then you're only earning a 3.8% APR supplying stable coins right there. You could probably earn a much higher APR in different environments, or if you were invested in something else like ICP, could earn way higher than 3.8%. Not financial advice, but what I see is that I'm not impressed when you look at the actual AAVE markets here. I don't see anything impressive. You got billions of dollars. Now, again, am I able to verify how much of this is being, provided truly, for what you would think it would be versus how much is incentivized? I can't know that just by looking at this. But there's a lot of problems I see here. You've got billions of dollars of Ethereum being supplied at a tiny APR, which there's got to be something better you could do with your money than that. Then you have wrapped Ethereum and wrapped Bitcoin, which there's huge potential issues you could have with these. These are very centralized. And then you've got billions of dollars tied up in that. And the supply APY on this is almost non-existent. A bunch of stable coins here. And then so this is the actual product. And again, I pointed all these risks out with it. So I don't see why anybody not actually using this lending protocol every single day would even consider holding this token. Even if I was using this lending protocol every day, like I use my iPhone every day, I use Google every day, I use Microsoft Windows every day, I use Amazon several days during the week, either at Whole Foods or ordering on Amazon, and I don't have any of those companies' stocks, because I think the value in them is high enough. They don't need my money, and I don't think I'm going to get a great return. But those stocks actually do give me legal ownership, or a tiny, tiny fraction of legal ownership, which can be then enforced by law. This crypto, holding something like the AAVE token, there's nobody that I know of that can enforce anything by law. There's no physical ownership or ownership by code that I see having the governance token gives you. I pointed out how many centralized problems and points of failure and risks there are. And how much is this really going to go up? I just don't see how AAVE is going to have a great bull run. It already has pushed up a bit recently, and it was flat for years here. And then you've had a couple of these pumps, but even those, a 4x, I'm not here in crypto to get a 4x. Just that's not what's exciting. I don't even know if you can earn a yield on having the AAVE token itself either. And then keep in mind that these governance proposals are all on the website. You see almost nobody's even voting against these, and there's not that much activity either on them. So to me, what purpose does the governance token have if everybody's just voting yes on everything all the time? And do you see what is the purpose of this coin? You scroll all the way back down here. Let's look and see if we can see when this proposal, this was voted on Polygon, which has since migrated. And why? This was March 2025. So that's actually a few months ago, which is decent. But compared to the level of activity on the Internet Computer Protocol governance, this is tiny. And almost all the votes are one way, literally no nay votes. Hundreds of thousands, yes, literally no nay votes. Only one proposal here that even have a decent number of nay votes. And having 0% nay votes to me is concerning. If I'm going to hold a governance token, I want to have some real value in holding it. So I have serious concerns with AAVE. This looks extremely risky. I don't see what the value of holding this is for an average person. I don't even see why you'd hold this even if you use the protocol, and I don't see why you'd use the protocol either. So That said, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. There's a lot of things I don't know. I hold a lot of internet computer protocol because that's the best investment I've found in crypto. And if I'm going to get lucky with a meme coin, I made my own meme coin too. So you can see exactly where my positions are. I'm fully transparent. I appreciate you watching. And if this was helpful for you, I would love for you to go to jerrybanfield.com. You can subscribe on YouTube. You can follow on X, schedule a call with me. All the links are on my website. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon.